Hello audience, this is Dennis Seitzma, Dennis John Seitzma Productions, Homestead, Florida, USA. This is my video diary about my 1994 one-owner project van, and this is not a do-it-yourself video. This is a video log. If you do it-yourself work, you do it at your own risk. Death or injury can result from do-it-yourself work. But this is my video log, my video diary, and what I had is the van wouldn't start, and I had replaced this door handle last time, and what I found is a corroded connector in the fuse block on the ECMB fuse. And of course, without the ECMB, the fuel pump relay won't engage, the fuel pump won't work, and it'll look like a failed fuel pump. Now, I have replaced the fuel sending unit that included the fuel pump, and it made a big difference in how it started and ran, and because before I had a lean pop. Now, the other thing I did is on the cross member here, about midpoint in the van, there's a grounding point for the fuel pump, and there's two holes there, one larger and one smaller, and the bolt is an M6 self-tapping, and I couldn't get it tight, and so there's two holes side by side. One's on the bottom of the cross member and one's on the side, and of course I felt the one on the side, the bigger hole, was correct because it was better protected, but actually the hole on the bottom of the cross member. So if you don't have a good ground, your fuel pump don't work, or you have low pressure or low volume, or you may have a no start situation. So I suspect a lot of these reported posts where people say fuel pump won't run or van won't start, check for corrosion on that midpoint connector and this ECMB fuse. Now, I did get new pins here from Speedway Motors, and they're out of these right now, but I think they gave me the tool, but I can't find it here. So it's part number 910-64003, Speedway Motors, and just in case I had to do some kind of workaround, I've got some more of these single fuse things. And also, if you can't get it from Speedway, this Dorman, this looks pretty good. I know you can get Dorman. This is part 85668. So anyway, I'm gonna, even though the windows aren't working, I got bigger problems with the engine. It's got a clunking noise. I think the balance shaft has come loose, or the bearings are going bad or something, but it does clunk, clunk, clunk. So I'm gonna stop working on the electrical problems and shift into working on the engine problems. And this is my video diary, my video log for January 8th, 2024, which is a Monday. It's about noon, and I'm going to run into town and get some lunch. But anyway, she started up right away, and but I hear that clunking noise. And it does it with the belt on or belt off, so it's internal to the engine. It's probably a serious problem of some kind with the engine, which is sad. I got, I don't know, 208,000 miles on it. I thought I had all the problems sorted and ready to drive it, but I don't. Now, for the contacts, I use this CRC contact cleaners on the fuse block, and I noticed some rust under the dash, so I like using ACF 50, and for getting anything loose I use this Cano Aerocoil, so I like that stuff. And anyway, you don't want to lose these bolts that hold the fuse block. Be very careful. These are long screws, and probably special screws, and any electrical connections, I use marine grade wire from Pacer Group in Sarasota, Florida, or Starbright liquid electric LET for the connections. But it's really a shame, because I thought I had this thing back to daily driver status. Making that clunking noise with the belt on or belt off, doesn't matter. So I'm going to pull the upper plenum and get down to where the balance shaft is. I got to figure out what this noise is. I don't want to keep driving it. I'm going to check for stuff in the oil filter. I'll do an oil change on it. See if I get any debris in that. Now, I had a fire when I was doing some engine checks. And this is a new tester I got. This is a BT 453. Now, to try to fix the problems from the fire, I got this 1mm and 2mm vacuum line, and I got a bunch of vacuum connectors I bought on the internet. And I went to Hobby Lobby and I got some tubing that I hope I can use. This is 100503 and 101-154, which is, I don't know if you can read those labels or not, but see if I can splice it with this tubing. And I got some electrical connectors, and I love this tool set, the Summit Racing, because they got it etched there. With my vision, I'm able to see what's going on there with the you know, when I pick out sockets, it's etched on there real good. I bought one of these and I liked it so much I had to buy more. It's a shame they don't put a part number on here. Oh yeah, Summit, SUM-90200. I like this thing a lot. And this is a video diary, so I've got no problem telling you what I use. You can use anything you want. This is not a how-to. So you people in the audience that say, oh, you didn't do this right, I show my mistakes. This is a video diary. This is a SUM-90200. I love this thing. And I usually say at the beginning what time and date it is, but I'm going to do it at the end now. It's 12:36, January 8th, 2024. It's a Monday. It's about 80 degrees. And this is the rig I use for checking the fuel pressure without having to start the vehicle. I can bypass the fuel pump relay, put this to power, and that'll start the fuel pump up, and I can check for fuel pressure. And I got to find some other way, because I got a bunch of old fuel pumps and I want to test them out of the vehicle on the bench. And I got to fabricate something to do that. So this is a little bit longer because I'm telling you what I plan to do. But next segments will probably be me digging into the engine. I hate to do that. I hate taking things apart without knowing what's wrong. I've done all the engine diagnostics on this. I like to take things apart when I know what I'm going to do for sure, and not just be guessing. But I think I'm going to find some serious engine problems once I get this thing apart, and which is a shame. But here's the problem. You can change an engine or a transmission. Most general mechanics can. But if there's a problem with the van, that takes more time and more effort to ferret out, like this no start, because I had no fuel pressure. Because when you start the car, the van, I should say, this is a 1994 Astro van, one owner. The computer for 2 seconds gives power to the fuel pump relay. And then if there's no oil pressure after 2 seconds, it kills the power to the relay. So that's enough to prime it and start it. And that's a protection, if you know. So if you got a bad fuel sending unit, oil pressure sending unit, or you got bad wiring or something, and a lot of these older GM vehicles have problems with corrosion and bad grounds, And on this vehicle I plan to run some new grounds from the ground points. And I try to talk about this with my posts, and people start arguing with me because they don't understand what I'm talking about. That's why I like the video. I can play show and tell as opposed to just trying to explain it in writing. I'm probably not the best writer to describe what I'm doing anyway. But anyway, the upshot is they want to argue about electrical. And I'm just saying I'm going to run more grounds. And I'm going to run them from the mid-frame to the fuel pump to the engine to the connection on the driver's side. On the back of the engine there's electrical connection for that. It does a lot of the engine sense. You know, you have a bad ground, it drives you bonkers. And then from the engine I'll go to the starter, and from that other engine point I'll go to the fuel battery negative grounding point on the front radiator support. So that said, I got problems. I don't want to drive it with this noise like this. I'll drive it around the property here, around the farm. But I got to figure out what this noise is. And it does it with the belt on, belt off, doesn't matter. And I thought this thing was all sorted and ready to drive on the street again. And I know I've got on the window power, WDO, PWR, on that circuit breaker, the brass contacts are burnt. So that's why I got no windows. So I don't have power to the windows. Everybody talks about the fusible links behind the battery. I know about those. And I try to explain to people, these fused links, they're not feeding power to the fuse block, they're taking power from the fuse block, and it goes bad right at the connector at the firewall. So I cut all 4 of them and I connected them here directly to the battery, and this feeds power without going through that damn connector that fails behind the battery all the time with the, you know, the fused links. So I don't know. No matter what I try to explain to people, I'm not doing a good job. And there's the electrical prime connector over there on the passenger side on the firewall. I talked about that in my other videos. And the AC works on this. It just doesn't have refrigerant in it right now. Not going to bother with AC repairs until I get my other problems sorted, which is I want this to be a daily driver again. That's the objective of this project, is just get to where I can use it again and have it be reliable. It needs a muffler too, of course. So thanks for watching, audience. Give me a thumbs up if anything is good in this video that you like, and please subscribe if you will. I need subscribers. I got over 75,000 views on these videos, but not enough subscribers to be monetized. And you need, oh man, lots of subscribers. Anyway, thanks for watching, audience. Bye for now.